Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that heart.
Layers, it's your girl Nami Slay, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything beauty, cosmetology, business, the whole works. We're gonna go over the pros and the cons of being in this industry. First, I want to jump into the pros. Put your best foot forward. So that's what we're gonna do. And again, these aren't in any particular order, but these are my top 5 things that I feel like make this beauty industry a win-win. Especially now with everything going on with COVID and that sort of thing, I wanted to just jump in here and kind of tell you guys my personal experiences being in the industry in 2021, okay? Without further ado, we're gonna jump right in. Being in the beauty industry is probably one of the best things that I ever did with my life. I feel like it gave me a lot of purpose and a lot of drive to get up and make a difference in my life and my clients' lives, just all the way around. So I'm forever grateful for it. I feel like this is still the best industry to be in, 10 toes down. One of the main pros about being in the beauty industry is the versatility that you have. When you have a cosmetology license, you are actually licensed for multiple things. It's not just, oh, we just do hair. You can be a nail tech, you can be a esthetician, and there's so many other things that go underneath an esthetician's umbrella. And you can also do hair, of course. And there's so many things you can specialize in that. Like my personal specialty when it comes to hair is color and extensions. I love that area of it, but there's also other avenues that you can specialize in. You can be a natural hair care specialist. I mean, you can specialize in hair loss. There's so many other ways that you can expound on. There's no other industry that is quite that diverse. I get bored very easily. I want to do this and I want to do this, and it's just, the struggle is real. But for me, I never get bored in this industry because of the amount of versatility that it provides. There's something new every day. And every day I'm always constantly learning. I'm constantly perfecting my craft. And I never get bored. It never gets monotonous. And for me, that is so huge. Number 2 thing I love about the beauty industry. This is a huge pro for me. You get to set your own schedule, okay? I am not a morning person, okay? I have tried for years to be a morning person. I am just not that person that's gonna get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be like, hey girl, I'm ready. However, with this industry, you don't have to be. If you are, that's great, but it's not a necessity. I always laugh with my clients. I'm that hairstylist that'll do your hair at 9 o'clock at night, but don't call me before 9 o'clock in the morning because I'm not that girl. Unless it's like a special event or something and I'm getting paid extra, I'm not an early morning hairstylist. So I get to set my own schedule. And for the clientele base that I have, and that's another thing I wanna cover, knowing who your clientele base is and knowing their lifestyle is more important. The majority of my clientele are, 30, 35 and up, and they're professional, people. So they don't usually get off work until after 5 o'clock. And most salons are closed at 6? Staying open later actually plays to my clientele base. I also work Sundays and I work Mondays. I run on whatever schedule my clients have, that's where I am. So it's a lot more convenient and it sets me apart in this industry and it works better for me. So I don't have to get up and be like, oh my God, I gotta fight through traffic. I have to do, 10 different things in the morning. I'm just not that person. Know thyself, okay? Know thyself. Definitely setting your own schedule is a huge pro, okay? Like huge. Number 3 pro of being in the cosmetology industry is your mobility. For the most part, if you went to a 1,500-hour program, you're gonna be qualified to work in the majority of states in the United States. All you do is apply with the board in the state that you wanna move to, and you're good to go. So, if I move, I'm not gonna have a job. Yes, you will, honey. You're a cosmetologist, okay? So you can also do things like having a mobile salon where you go to your clients instead of doing a brick and mortar building, instead of doing, where you have all of that overhead. This license travels with you. Okay, it's so unique in the fact that you are not tied down to one particular area, to one particular location. You can go and your license goes with you. Pro number 4 about being a cosmetologist. It is connecting with people. I love connecting with people. I call myself an introverted extrovert because I love people, but I also love being by myself. No, seriously, I get to meet some amazing people from all walks of life, different demographics. Something about being a cosmetologist is a very intimate position with people. You get them in the chair, they're super relaxed, and they tell you their whole life story. I mean, I'm talking lawyers, judges, bankers, models, they tell you their whole life story. So it's like a telenovela every day in the salon. Especially because I have a private studio, so people get really comfortable. Okay, they tell me all kinds of stuff. I try my best to put myself in their shoes, and it gives me a whole new perspective on people, on life, situations. I've taken a lot of situations that my clients have told me about their personal lives and applied it to my own, because I'm like, ooh, you did that in that situation? I'm not doing that. Thank you for the heads up. So connecting with people is one of the biggest pros about this industry. You are constantly talking to people. You are constantly interacting with them. And that 6 degrees of separation is true. If you don't know what that is, it's the theory that all people on the planet are connected by a chain of 6 people. Hairstylists, it's more like 3 people, okay? With all the people that we know. So connecting with people is huge. If you have a passion for it, I can't tell you the amount of time that I have gotten my own personal aura boost from working on a client. I used to do a lot of work before the pandemic with domestic violence victims and the homeless. Connecting with those people, hearing their stories, letting you know that, there's somebody out there that needs your help and that is benefiting from what you're doing is huge for healing your own personal soul. And I would make someone feel better about themselves and they had confidence to maybe go into rehab or, go apply for a job or, just try to see themselves outside of the situation that they're currently in. It was so huge for me. Okay, I love that part of this. A lot of people take the beauty industry as vanity, and it's not. For the most part, the beauty industry is just making yourself see what you want to see from the inside being portrayed on the outside. And as a cosmetologist, you are in a very unique and critical position to help people with that journey. Love it. Definitely connecting with people, one of the best. Number 4. Pro, okay? Next, the pro that all of you are probably watching this video for is the money. The dollar bills, y'all. There's a lot of money to be made. Like, a lot of money to be made. This again goes towards what are you specializing in? What do people know you for? If you can create yourself and carve out your own little niche where people think of your name as synonymous with whatever category that you're in, you set yourself up for so much success. When people say, hey, being a cosmetologist or a hairstylist, you're not gonna make a lot of money, don't listen to them, okay? Because it's a lie and the truth ain't in it. Funny story, my father was so upset with me for deciding to drop out of med school. It was a huge blow to him because in his mind, I was supposed to be a doctor and I graduated high school early. I guess it's, oh my God, I'll go into a whole different video about that. But long story short, his biggest fear was that I wouldn't be able to make enough money being a stylist. And that's just not the case. I'm fairly comfortable, and I say that because I have an Amazon shopping addiction. Looking at that, I'm probably more secure in my finances being a cosmetologist than I have in any other thing that I've ever done, and I've done a lot, okay? My dad is a retired computer engineer, and I wasn't too happy with one of the booking apps that I was using. So I told my dad, look, I need you to make me a POS system where I can check clients out, this, that, and the other. And with the app, I have to send him screenshots of the current app that I'm using so he can try to manufacture pages that are similar to it. I have to send my father how much I make because it's on one of the pages. He says, hey, you know, and he calls me Pooh Bear. Grown woman with 2 kids. I'm still Pooh Bear. But he says, hey, Pooh Bear, is this what you made this month? And I was like, no, that's not what I made this month. Oh, okay, is this what you made, you know, this week? And I was like, no, that's what I made today. That was a screenshot from today. And it just blew his mind. He was like, you're really making a living? Yes, I am making a living in this industry. It doesn't just fall in your lap. You do have to work hard in this industry. This is not for the faint of heart, okay? You gotta clit up, okay? You know? You just do. If I want to go on vacation or if my kids need money for a camp or whatever, all I need to do is hustle a little harder in the salon and I can make that happen. With a 9 to 5, a regular job, all you're gonna make is what you're gonna make scheduled. This industry, you can make as much money as you are willing to work for. There are days in the salon where I'm working 14, 16-hour days. Especially when I started out, I would get in the shop and I would have like maybe 20 bucks in my pocket extra, you know what I mean? Just enough to get me some gas, some food, that sort of thing. And I leave out the salon with several $100s. That's a thing, okay? There's not very many industries that you can do that in. Besides stripping. No shot to the strippers. I have a lot of stripper clients. Love y'all. However, this is an industry where you are constantly making that cash flow coming in on the daily. The Capricorn in me is okay with all of that. She's like, girl, get that money, okay? Once you build a base of quality clients that you know you can rely on, that you know are gonna come in for their regular appointments, get the services that you're recommending to them, you're gonna be able to shape your own income. It takes time, but that's definitely a huge pro in this industry. A lot of stylists do not keep track of their income, and that is so terrible, okay? You have to keep track of what you're making. You can do it through apps, you can get QuickBooks, even if it's cash. Like what I would do is deposit the money and then take it back out. Just so you have a record of what you're making, because if you have to get a car, like I had to buy a new car recently, and if I didn't have proof of my income, I would have been completely screwed, because I'd have been like, yeah, I make money, and they'd have been like, prove it. Keep track of your income, but the income in this industry is a huge pro. Even in the middle of a pandemic, if you can find your niche, you are golden, okay? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this pros video of being in the beauty industry, even post-COVID. Definitely recommend it. 10 toes down, it's the bee's knees, okay? I'm going to do a separate video on the cons of working in this industry, and there's not many of them, but they are things that I would recommend you consider before you say, hey, I'm gonna jump in here and you know, I'm gonna do this full time. So I will link that video in the description below. I might even do a playlist on just like the beauty industry in general, with school, all of that. I don't know, we'll see. Until next time, Slayers, peace, love, and namaste.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find